What's up, people? Welcome to my first mukbang. um, so let's just, first things first, yes, this video mukbang is inspired by Foodie Beauty. I baited her name in the title of my video because I'm a viewer of Foodie Beauty, and Foodie Beauty gets a lot of hate, and there's a lot of YouTubers out there who try to make names for themselves online by doing like reactions to people like Foodie Beauty, sorry. And honestly, like, I get it, but this video isn't for that. This video is just to throw something else out in the long list of Foodie Beauty hate videos when you search her name on YouTube. I'm just kind of trying to throw out something a little bit different, be a little bit more creative. This video is inspired by her. I'm not going to be talking about her at all. This video is about me. This channel is about me. And with that, I do have to say thank you for 300 subscribers. That was exciting. I wasn't really, the last video I did, I actually got like a bunch of subscribers from that, so hello. Yes, I show my feet on this channel, but I do not show my feet in every single video. This particular video, I will not be showing my feet, but there will be a foot story involved, which ties into my TMI. That's what Foodie Beauty kind of became known for on her channel, was telling TMI sex stories over her meals. So the other reason this is inspired by Foodie Beauty is because I am trying poutine for the first time. Now, Foodie Beauty lives in Canada. I'm an American, so I don't know a lot about poutine. I've never had it, and when I searched for it in my area, I live in Rhode Island, I found some. So I have it here, and I'm kind of like just ready to get into the food because poutine is gravy fries, so like, I mean, I traveled with this like 10 minutes in the car, so I just don't know what to expect right now, you guys. So, let's see. Like, these are probably gonna be like super soggy. Now, they did give me silverware, but I don't need that. Now, my god. I feel like I want to take a couple bites first before I sort of start talking. I got this poutine American version from Frisky Fries, which is a local eatery in my area. So I'm taking a bite. And then I'll keep going. Okay. I get it. Like, I get why this is considered comfort drunk food, totally. This is actually really good. Now, I don't know how I feel about eating on camera. It is kind of gross. This is probably my only mukbang I'm ever gonna do. Sometimes I do, like, I eat little treats and stuff, but it's not like the focus of my videos. I do a lot of stream of consciousness videos. But, alright. That is really good. I'll dig into this more as I tell my story. I kind of just wanted to make sure that it wasn't gonna be too, like, nasty. Wow. I've been wanting to do this video since Halloween. I had this idea that I was gonna order this on Halloween and do like a trick or treat and like maybe kind of dress up as Foodie Beauty, but like I couldn't bring myself. I didn't feel like eating this food on Halloween, and then like now, what is it? November 17th. It's been 17 days, and every day sense that day. I'm like, oh, could I eat poutine today? I don't know. And I just couldn't like do it because I knew that it was gonna be such like a heavy meal. So let me just tell you a little bit about frisky fries first before I start my TMI foot munch story, which is probably why you're really here. Maybe I don't know why you're here. Hi. So frisky fries, all they do is dressed fries. They say they're the crispiest, friskiest fries in town. It is a Rhode Island only local eatery. They started as a food truck, and I actually have had the food truck. A few years ago, I went to this like beach summer carnival, and the Frisky Fries food truck was there. And at that time, I was a vegetarian, so they had like one vegetarian option, which I tried, which they call the Alley Cat, which is French fries with fresh garlic, olive oil, and Parmesan. That one's really plain. Most of the ones that they have are really like intense. Like they even right now they do seasonal recipes. Like right now they have this one called Tom Turkey. I took notes. Tom Turkey, and it's like French fries with turkey stuffing, gravy, and cranberry drizzle, which is pretty crazy. Their signature frisky fry is just like beef chili and cheese, just like chili fries. I mean, they're hand-cut fries. They make the fries themselves. Some of the just interesting ones that I saw on their website were Little Piggy, which is French fries dressed with pulled pork, wasabi slaw, and barbecue drizzle. There's Miss Potato Head, which has smoked bacon, sharp cheddar, sour cream, fresh scallions. They even have sweet ones, like S'moresome, which is like a s'mores French fry. They had like an apple one. And then, of course, the one I got is their Poutine. It's called Disco Dotty Naked, and it's their French fries with handmade Vermont cheddar curds. So it is cheddar curds, which, according to Foodie Beauty, who says she is a poutine, I guess I'm saying it wrong, Poutine aficionado, it has to be curds. So these are Vermont cheese curds. I love Vermont cheese. And brown gravy. So this is, according to Foodie Beauty, this is poutine, as it is supposed to be in Canada. So, you're supposed to take bites, right? Because, I mean, normal French fries, it's like you take a French fry and you eat one fry at a time. That's more pleasing on the eye when I'm not, like, shoving food in my mouth. But, okay. So why are we here today? Besides wanting to try the poutine, let's get to. That's also a Foodie Beauty thing. Shout out. I'm giving her all the credit here for the inspired mukbang. I'm sure hers are better. This will be probably a shit show. But I needed to just do it. I've been thinking about it, envisioning it. I wanted to share Frisky Fries with the world because it's kind of in a unique, fun restaurant. Actually, Rhode Island in general, the Providence area, it's quite a foodie town. Mukbangs are hard because, yeah, you kind of just want to eat your food, but you have to, like, talk, but you have to chew. You can't chew with your mouth open. This is weird. I'm sorry, people. I do have... Back to my regular scheduling, probably tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a floral craft tomorrow, which you all seem to enjoy my last floral craft, so my feet will be involved. Lemon spindrift, super yummy. Speaking of feet, what is a foot munch exactly? You may be wondering that. If you're not familiar with, I guess, the fetish world, you may not know what it is. A munch is a gathering of people that are into a fetish. Oh yeah, I'm like, why am I wearing cat ears? Yeah, Frisky Fries, just shout out. I've got my cat dress and like my cat ears because their mascot is like a cat, and this is just a weird video. I just felt like maybe I'll just be weird with these. So, a Munch is a gathering of people that may have like the same fetish, and so they get together and either they practice their fetish or they're just whatever. It's a gathering, it's a party, right? So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Just, I don't know who's new here and I don't know what people know. I've kind of restarted my YouTube channel and deleted a lot of my past videos, and there's a lot of snippets about my life that I insert in different videos, but so far I haven't done like a clear-cut video of my background story. Particularly while I was heavily bullied, I have PCOS. I grew up with actually a beard. Over the past year, I have been lasering off my beard, and it's changed my life immensely. Like this, me sitting here in front of this camera, that would have never happened really prior to this year, because I was incredibly self-conscious about my beard, and I also had a lot of scarring from digging into my skin to try to remove hairs. This is gross. I'm looking at this like, this isn't really dinner time talk right now, but long story short, I was very, very insecure, and starting at the age of 14 to the age of 24, I lived two separate lives. I lived my life just as me, and then I lived an online fake identity life as a beautiful blonde girl named Sarah. And I catfished a lot of men just in talking. I didn't get anything from them other than attention. I wasn't like a financial catfish or something. It was just relationships. I'm not like, I have videos coming out on that. It's a long story. I have a 3-part coming out on that, but you may be wondering, why is this chick have her feet all over her YouTube page? She's weird. That's gross. Is this a foot fetish page? I don't know. Do I have a foot fetish? I don't know. I have a fetish for my feet. Part of my journey of self-love has been through finding beauty in parts of me that I would have not really considered before, such as my feet. And I do talk about this in my video Barefoot in the Grass, talking about why I show my feet. I go over it a little bit and kind of my journey into loving my feet, finding them beautiful, finding myself beautiful in turn. So I also catfish. There's a lot here, but I currently am in a relationship, a long-term relationship, that really I've been in for 7 years, but it took me 2 years to meet him in person because he was one of the men that I catfished. And so during that 2-year period, when I was 24, I came clean to him. I stopped catfishing altogether, but it still took me 2 years to then meet him in person because I was still self-conscious about him seeing me in person, where you could see the hair more than on a camera, and I would edit my photos and stuff like that and blur out, scars and marks, and so I was really afraid. So, and I had never been kissed. I hadn't done anything. I had never had a boyfriend. I had never been on a date. I had just nothing. I had phone sex with these men that I catfished online. So let me just Let me have a couple more. I'm gonna take a bite, like a big one. I feel like I need to get some of this out on the plate. Yeah, I mean, it looks like dog shit. That's kind of everyone's complaint about poutine is like, it looks gross. Like, yeah, but it tastes good. I don't. Foodie Beauty does this too, okay? Where she stops her stories to eat her food. So, don't judge me. I'm feeling it. Like, I wasn't sure about the gravy because, I don't know, I'm not a huge gravy person, and I was a vegetarian for so long, and pretty sure gravy is like, what, meat sweat or something weird like that. Um, so, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know about that, but, like, it's good. I know that this restaurant also, I believe they use pretty fresh quality ingredients and whatnot. It would be easy to make this taste nasty. I can see this being very easy to just ruin. So, during that 2-year kind of span where I was afraid to meet this man that I had fallen in love with, but I came clean about who I was, and he was very patient. You know, we have an interesting love story. Part of the reason why I was afraid to meet him in person was because I didn't have any experience, and he is 20 years older than me, so he's obviously had plenty of experience, and I was afraid that, I was like, well, I don't even know how to kiss a guy. I've never seen a penis. You can now go back. Also, some of my videos I have kept up about, like, I would go, this is during those 2 years when I was afraid to meet him, I basically pushed myself to experience, like, sexual stuff of what I could. I mean, I didn't want to have actual sex. I wanted to have oral sex and, like, kiss and stuff. And I wanted to feel more comfortable around men. So I wanted to know how a penis worked. So I still have those videos up where, like, I posted ads on Craigslist, and I would just be honest about my situation. I was like, I'm, like, fat, hairy, and insecure, and, like, 24, and, like, I don't know, like, I just want to, like, meet someone really nice and low-key that, like, I can just, like, have my first experiences or whatever. And so I did all that, okay? So, during those 2 years, we haven't even gotten to the foot munch, you guys. It's the best part. I was experimenting. I was meeting he knew about this as well. This was agreed upon. So, I had a profile on FetLife, which I don't know if it's still around. I think it is, but I think it's kind of, like, died down. It was really kind of dying down even when I was on there. I'm not on there anymore. Don't ask, don't look for me. I deleted my accounts. So, I was on FetLife, and if you don't know what FetLife is, it's like Facebook for people who have sexual kinks, fetishes, outsiders, whatever. It's just for kind of freaks, weirdos, people that don't fit in. I felt like it was good for me to find men on there because of my beard situation. That was the most freakish thing about me. So for a while I had, like, that I was a bearded lady, because there's guys who have bearded lady fetishes. I actually met one. I didn't meet him in person, but one of my friends. I mean, we're pen pals still to this day. So just it felt like a place where I could just be honest about things, rather than, like, Tinder or something where everyone's superficial as fuck and rude and stupid. So, not that there's plenty of stupid people on FetLife. Do not get me wrong. That's just the internet for you. So, my profile on FetLife, I had a couple, it was like, I was kind of more saw myself as, like, submissive. I actually kind of saw myself as, like, vanilla. Because you can like label yourself. It's silly, you guys, but there's so many different fetishes and stuff and things. So at that point, I had a Tumblr where was posting pictures of my feet, and I kind of had gained this following of people that liked my feet, and I took a lot of pictures of my feet, and so some of my pictures on my FetLife profile were of my feet. I just had random pictures, you know. It's like a social media profile, so I had a lot of different interests and things on there. I met some. I talked to a few different people on FetLife and local people. I met a few of them in person, and one of them in particular, we're going to call him. What should we call him? We're going. Oops, I just dropped on the floor. I'll pick that up. Don't worry. We're going to call him James. So James found me on FetLife. He had a foot fetish. He was in Boston. At this time, I was living in New Hampshire, but I was only about an hour away from Boston. And we had a few conversations, and then eventually we decided. So there was a lot of like things on FetLife, like you would get invited to like local munches, like I was explaining, gatherings of people that had similar fetishes as you. So like if you you could join groups and stuff and local groups. So that's kind of how people would find you and send you invites and messages and whatnot. So I had been invited to munches quite often, but they were usually like more BDSM munches for like doms to meet subs, or like to like have to be like tied up, in a warehouse and like, whipped in front of an audience, like for fun, like those types of parties, which wasn't I as like a virgin, like who'd never been kissed, that wasn't really what I saw for myself as far as exploring, my sexuality. So I never was interested in going to anything like that. But they would also do like public munches where like people would like get together at like IHOP, and they would and dress regular like normal people and just be normal people, but they would be having conversations about whatever they want to be having conversations about, but it would be like vanilla appropriate in public. So you don't have to show up in your leathers and chains and whatnot. So I was in a couple foot groups, like Pretty Feet of Massachusetts or something. I don't know, New England Feet, stuff like that. So I had been invited to this public foot munch in the Commons, Boston Commons, which is basically just like a Central Park type thing, a big park in the middle of the city. And this guy, we had been talking for a while. He was in the same foot group. He was a very shy person, James. Introvert, I would say. Maybe. Yeah, an introvert. Maybe a little just awkward. He was kind of an awkward person. And so am I. So we both talked about how, like we've never been to like a munch. We feel weird. It's weird to show up alone to something like that. I'm kind of curious to show up to something like that, but I wouldn't want to go alone. So me and him, we decided together that we were going to go to this public foot munch in the Commons, and we would also be meeting each other. So it was actually, when I was thinking about this story earlier and kind of just remembering it all for myself to recite now, I realized that this was my first date. This was the first time a man had ever asked me out as myself, not as, a catfish. And yeah, it was my first date, which is kind of funny. So that might be a better title for this video. My first date was a foot munch. That will confuse people. But so we decided to go. We went. All right, we went. We met up at the foot munch. And I'm just going to tell you about it. Once I have a couple more french fries. being on camera is definitely weird. Like, it's definitely, I feel wrong. I'm like, ooh, like, this feels way more sexual to me than me having my foot propped up, for sure. That's why I keep covering my mouth. Because that's like, it's like wrong. I'm so confused. Alright. So, we met up at the Foot Munch, okay? Now, there was like, when we got there, we were the last to arrive. There was like, I don't know, 10 people there. So there wasn't that many people. It was kind of advertised as like a foot picnic. Someone just texted me. There was probably about 10 people there at this Foot Munch, okay? Mostly men. Now, well, actually, I would say like, well, yeah, I feel like me and there was maybe like 2 other girls, and then the rest were guys. And me and James were the last to arrive, so we kind of walked up on this, like, inconspicuous group of people sitting on blankets in the middle of Boston Commons, giving each other foot rubs. So we introduced ourselves. Everyone in the fetish community, I will say that, well, typically people in the fetish community are very, very nice. Like, overly nice. Very open and accepting. Obviously, a lot of outcasts find, friends or find a safe space, I guess, in these kind of fetish communities, I would say. So, we sat down. We introduced ourselves, chatted a little bit. We sat down. This was for James. This was kind of like, this was me and James getting to know each other and just kind of wanting to experience one of these public munches. This one that we chose, this Foot Munch, turned out to be like really, really tame. It was in public. It was pretty much just all of us sitting around. It was a beautiful day. There were snacks. Somebody brought snacks. Giving each other foot rubs. Well, if you want, not giving each other, but kind of like, it's all about consent also in the fetish community. Huge on consent. So, I'll get into that a little bit, but we sat down. James asked if he could rub my feet. I was just wearing some sandals, so I said okay, because I knew that's what he wanted, and I'm sure it was very, very thrilling for him, because I don't think he had ever kissed a girl or anything either. I think we were both like really kind of like awkward and new at just touching other people. So I think he was like really excited. And so I let him give me a foot rub, and we just sat and chatted with these people, and he gave me a foot rub. I can't remember really even what the conversations were about that everyone was having. I feel like it was just kind of normal stuff. People were talking about feet, and there was a point where one of the guys there, so a lot of people were like getting their feet rubbed or rubbing feet, and then there were a couple people that like didn't have anybody to either rub their feet, or they were just like alone or whatever, so still part of the group but kind of alone. So like this one guy, as James was rubbing my feet, like he was like, he asked James, he was like, do you want to rub my feet next? And James was like, no, sorry. And the guy was like, oh, it's okay, no worries, I totally understand. And then he asked me, like, do you want to rub my feet? And I was like, oh, sorry, I was like, I don't do the rubbing, like, I just get rubbed. Which, that's not true. I've rubbed my boyfriend's feet plenty of times, but I wasn't there to rub anyone's feet. I was there to, I guess, be a pillow princess or whatever and get my feet rubbed. So that was kind of funny. And he was like so sweet about everyone was turning this guy down. Like no one wanted to touch this guy's feet. No one and he was just like, it's okay. Like it was I don't know, it was just funny. So at one point it was kind of like I don't know if it was like getting boring or something, but I think I had weed in my car and I wanted to smoke it. So because this was before Massachusetts legalized marijuana. So I knew I had to smoke it kind of like in private in my car. Um, so was trying to like make an excuse to kind of go back to my car, and James he said he wanted to just like spend some alone time with me. Like we wanted to kind of take a walk more around, just us two. And he said that he had like a gift for me that was in his car. So we decided that we were gonna take like a break, go back to my car. He was gonna give me my gift, and I was gonna smoke some weed, and then we would go back. But I had suggested, oh, I'm gonna go. Maybe we should like paint each other's feet or whatever. Like that would be a fun activity, and everyone got all excited about that. And so Boston Commons. I mean, there's not a lot of like There's a lot of stores around, but they're high-end luxury retail stores. There's not like a Walmart or anything. So there's a CVS. So I was like, oh, I'll go to CVS and we'll see if there's paint, if there's anything at CVS that we can buy, like, and we'll bring it back or whatever. But honestly, in the back of my mind, like, I didn't really care about bringing back paint to these people. I kind of just wanted to, like, smoke my weed and then whatever. I didn't really know. I was kind of, like, over it because I wasn't going to touch anyone's feet. I knew that I was only going to let James touch mine. I mean, how rude would it be to have some other person start rubbing my feet, like, on the date that I guess James had sort of invited me to. So me and him went back to the car. I smoked a bowl. He gave me my gift, which was this giant Hello Kitty plush, which I don't have it anymore. I gave it to one of my nieces only because I had it for years, and then I gave it to one of my nieces. I don't know. I felt weird when I moved in with my boyfriend. I felt weird bringing this stuffed animal that this other man had bought me or something, and because I really feel I actually could cry because James was so sweet to me. Sorry, people. I'm a loser, but he was a really sweet guy. His name wasn't James, so it's weird to say that. Maybe he's watching this right now. I don't know. Maybe he's still following me after all these years. He was super sweet to me. And I had not been treated well. So I kind of feel bad that I didn't like him as much as I know that he liked me. So that's the part of this story that I feel guilty about. I'm such a loser. Okay, so I feel bad that I gave away the Hello Kitty. Like, I don't want him to think whatever. I don't it was super sweet. I gave him a kiss for the Hello Kitty. So he got a kiss. It was on the cheek. It wasn't even on the lips, which I kind of feel bad about. But I was awkward too. So anyways, smoked my weed, got my Hello Kitty, me and him chatted a little bit. Me and him walked around a little bit by ourselves. We didn't end up going to CVS. We were kind of just like, well, let's just go back and tell them that we couldn't find any paint and then apologize and kind of call it a day. Because we kind of were like, we kind of just wanted to hang out alone, I think, at that point, or I don't really know. We were feeling weird around the other people or something. We just didn't, whatever. So we went back. I didn't have the paint. Everyone was like, did you find the paint? Did you bring paint? Did you buy paint? And I was like, no, sorry. And they were so disappointed. You could tell they were disappointed. And then I was kind of like, we kind of, were like, well, I think we're just going to, end up leaving. And they're like, oh, okay. They're really nice. So they, right before we left, the main guy who had organized this whole thing, who is actually, I believe he was the organizer of the entire, New England cute feet group thing on FetLife. he he said, "Oh, before you go, like, every time we do one of these munches, because they all kind of knew each other. The people that were, everyone else that was there, it was like they already, those people had met each other before. Me and him were the only newbies. So they said, before you leave, we do this thing at every munch. We choose the best feat of the day, and they get a prize. And you won. Me, I won best feat of the munch. So they gave me it was a little makeup bag. I still have it. I should have pulled it out. I don't know why I didn't. It was a little makeup bag, Playboy makeup bag, that had just nail polish, like nail file, little foot care stuff, and I was like, oh my god! I was honestly shocked. I was so excited. I was like, wow, I've never won anything in my life. This is so exciting. So that was kind of the end. I won that little prize, and everyone was really sweet, and James was really nice, and I think we hung out maybe one more time, and then I mean, he, he wasn't the one for me. We didn't, there wasn't a strong connection. So, oh shit. Oh my god, you guys. Alright. This turned into just me talking, not eating. That's why mukbangs are stupid, because it's hard to talk and eat. Like, and then your food gets cold. Now my food's cold. Now I have to, like, what, put it in the oven? Well, thank you guys for watching. This was a mess, but I hope you like it. And stay tuned for more foot streams coming soon, floral crafts, all sorts of things.